I think what we've seen in the past couple of days is that the administration's strategy is making progress. The economic sanctions have really crushed Iran's economy. Iran's economy is suffering. Now there is a military component to the maximum pressure strategy as well. President Trump has made it clear that he's willing to use military force to push back on Iran's terror and proxies. And now we've seen the really historic protest inside Iran. So the Iranian regime right now is feeling intense pressure. And this is the kind of pressure that the maximum pressure campaign was meant to introduce. And it may just be enough to convince Iran to come back to the negotiating table to look for a way out of this very difficult situation that it's in.
Abas Aslani, do you see negotiations in a near future? Could there be some kind of surprise twist?
Difficult. What the impact of the recent actions by the United States, including the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, has been is that it has brought more anti-U.S. sentiments to the country. So in this situation, it will be a bit difficult to imagine that an official will be willing to go on to negotiate with the Americans at this moment, because this can cost him politically back at home. And so the chance of negotiations has decreased. I mean, some weeks ago, there were some mediation and some proposals at the table, and the Americans were ready to make it, but when the protests last month happened in Iran, Americans backtracked and they thought that it's not time to negotiate with Iran. Because why? Because they thought that the maximum pressure is working against Iran.